Yo, what's up, man? Mm, The chill be here right here now tonight with a random live. I started half an hour early because, like, bored, bored. My boy, without further ado, Retro is in the house and he's first. I hope you're here, my brother. I hope you're here, my brother. What are we going to talk about? Well, boxing, red pill, the usual, man. Whatever you want. You can talk about anything you want. You can talk about anything you want on this channel. We don't give a shit. You understand me? I'm still waiting for some visitors, right? Allegedly, I've still got zero. Now, obviously, I did a very controversial video on the World War situations, and it's probably dissed me. Which is why they are shadow banning. Well, they always shadow ban me, but they're excessively shadow banning me. Oh, we got one person. Who's here? Who's there? Yeah. When I had 1,000 subs, before I got real controversial, right? I get like 100 people watching the video, and now I get like 20. Fuck them. But I would never change, man. Because that would mean I was a sellout, and I ain't no sellout. So here we go, man. I want to see some questions. What are you going to talk about boxing wise? Well, what is there, man? What is there, man? Conor Bum, Chris Eubank. I told you, man, I ain't interested in that. I'll watch it. I ain't gonna buy that. Unfinished business is called unfinished business. What it is? No. The business has been finished. Conor Ben got beaten. I said at the time I thought he might have actually edged it, but I'd got my drink on. So when you get your drink on, which by the way, seeing how many British refs misjudge the contest, how many British judges misrepresent a contest, they're probably all drunk anyway, pieces of shit. See, by now I would usually have at least a few viewers, 10 viewers. I got nothing so far, so I'm gonna get my Bacardi on. And see what happens, man. We on now. The big dot is in the house. His Corey is ready and it is erect. Damn. Some people might say that's too much information, man. Boy Memes is in the house. How we do? We're doing okay, man. Let me tell you something. I'll talk about it later, right? I was speaking to a red pilled person. And I said, I struggle with the anger. I don't want to even talk about this, right? Because it's weak. Oh, I struggle with the depression, the anxiety. But if you've gone through what I'd gone through, then so would you. And that's the smallest violin playing just for the triple B. But I was advised by this person. I said, I'm not doing none of that pharmaceutical bullshit no more. It damages me. It affects me. It's affects my psychology. It's affected me physically. I believe it shrunk my Corey as well. Yeah, I used to have an 8-inch Corey. It's not 8 inches no more. I can barely get proper wood. But I don't want to talk about this. As she said, what about this? Take lion's mane. Lion's mane mushroom supplements. Now, I'm not even backing this company. I've got no affiliate links. I should have put an affiliate link in it. But as she goes like, lion's mane took away my fear, my depression. It improved my sleep. I'm like, I'll give it a try. So I've given it a try. This is the first day. Lion's mane is a natural mushroom. It's not a psychedelic mushroom. It was banned. You were not allowed to sell it in the UK. Now you can. It's nuts. So I've been looking up all kinds of like, by the way, I hope you can all hear me, right? So I've been looking at all kinds of like, recipes, what I can do. I've ordered some actual real lion's mane mushrooms. I believe that God, or if you're not a Christian, if you're not, if you don't believe what he should, but if you don't, because Christ is king, if you don't, God bless you, if you don't, at least believe that natural nature has provided natural remedies for us, man. Yeah, my boy Owen Foster, great to see you, Chubby. I asked this question last year, man. I don't think you saw it. Who would you have picked between Jake LaMotta and Rocky Graziano? They were friends, weren't they? They used to go out robbing together. Let me tell you this for nothing. I read Jake LaMotta's autobiography. So it's not a biography. It's actually means that he had input into what happened, an autobiography. He didn't write it, obviously, but he had input with the writer. It was ghostwritten. And he lost his virginity by raping a woman in the back of a cab, which is not great, man. It's not, this isn't great. But yeah, Jake LaMotta and Rocky. Rocky could really punch, but they were both hood rats, I guess you'd call them. They were both like pals. They would go robbing. Apparently, Jake LaMotta even met one of the guys that he robbed and attacked with a brick, and he thought he'd killed. So Jake LaMotta wasn't that great a guy. Rocky was much nicer and better looking too. No homo. Who would win? I mean, again, every time somebody talks about who would win, this person or that person, you have to put at least a percentage in it. You can't go, oh, they would definitely win, because Ali lost to Frazier, but then he won on points, and then he stopped Frazier, but Frazier probably would have stopped him if was it Archie Moore or Benton, his trainer, had let him come out. Now, so when it comes to LaMotta or Graziano, I believe Jake LaMotta would win 7 times out of 10. 7 times out of 10, because he was almost impossible to hurt. And Graziano was a come-forward puncher, but slightly chinny. And LaMotta was not a puncher. He's got knockouts, but he's not a puncher. But I believe that his determination, his work rate would make him win 7 out of 10 times, bro. The Prince D's here. What's up, man? It's great to see you, brother. Great always to talk to you. You guys can always talk to me on Insta. I'm always there. I answer every question. I don't avoid conversations. I've even had conversations with wrong-uns. And yeah, I'm here for the fans. I'm like the modern version of a Ricky Hatton. And actually, that sounds a bit cruel, because I'm still affected by Ricky Hatton's passing. I have a theory that it wasn't actually, he didn't deliberately do it. The manager, Paul Speak, who discovered, said he definitely didn't mean to do it. Now, the full inquest is not till March. I think it might have been some kind of kinky strangulation process, because, he was a bit of a pervert, right? There's pictures of him with a gimp mask and a ball in his mouth and something around his neck. A lot of people accidentally, Michael Hutchins, for example, is one. Apparently Shane Warne used to like to do this. They cut off their blood supply whilst they're jacking, and they get more of a high. They get more of a high when they bust a nut. So I'm thinking this is possibly likely. Owen, I remember quoting Mel Gibson about a year ago about war. I love the warrior, but I hate the war. That's a great quote. I did a video about Remembrance Day. Please check it out. I knew I would get punished, shadow banned, attacked for it. But you can't shy away from the truth. There's nothing more important in life than the truth. Nothing more important than the truth. Yeah. Some people don't like it. They bury their head in the sand. They go, I don't know the truth. As long as I can make enough money and watch Strictly Come Dancing and Man United and have a pint, I'm happy. Meanwhile, they're getting jibber-jabbered and poisoned, and their kids are getting psychologically abused at school. ST the King is alive. Do you think Itama's the real deal? I believe so. Of course, the heavyweight division is always quite light on talent, because not that many people are 17 stone, right? but they're the most important weight division. Okay. Do I think your time is real? I made a video of him like 3 years ago before he turned pro. I was going, this guy is one to watch. This guy's one to watch. The only issue, the only worry is whether he can take a punch on the chin. But the way he fights, the confidence with which he fights and comes forward and attacks from the first round, his speed, his accuracy, his power, I believe he can take a punch. And he's spun a lot of good guys. So, yeah. I believe he's 20. I mean, he don't look 20. I know, but you get the, you know, when you've been at school, sometimes when you're at school, there's a guy in your year who's like 12 or 13, and he looks like he's 21. So it can happen. It can happen. One question is this, Chubby. Do you think therapy works? Do you think therapy works for certain people? Okay, that's a complex question. Thank you for asking it, because we answer all questions. Therapy depends on the right therapist, number one. Number two, it does work. What do I mean by that? It doesn't necessarily work long term. What it does is you've got, like, listen, man, if you're sitting in a pub with your best friend and no one's going to listen to you for an hour whinging about your life, talking about how rubbish it is and how black-pilled you are, no one's going to listen to you for an hour. But therapists will, because they're trained for it and they're being paid for it. So every time I've done therapeutic sessions, I've come out feeling a lot better. And I mean with top psychologists. Do I think it solves anything long term? No, not really. And even therapists say this, goes, oh, you've just got to stay in therapy. And you're like thinking, well, are you scamming me? Are you scamming me? Did you just want me to carry on? So I have mixed feelings on this. I think it does provide positive help. But mainly it's just getting stuff off your chest and getting someone to listen to you, right? Because you can't do that in normal life. But does it solve anything? No, I don't believe so. No. Boy memes. Max Kellerman and Sean Zittel. Ooh, that's a very suspicious name. I wonder what his early life section looks like. We all know what Max Kellerman's early life section looks like. Yeah. And other boxing journals are the biggest buck lovers. Seems they choose them over every opponent. That's because they're part of the agenda. Sam Kellerman and Max Kellerman did a rap. What is it called, man? Oh, I was worried about playing it in case they copyright me, but they did some really whack rap, and Sam Kellerman was big friends with this guy. What's his name? What's the name of the guy? Someone tell me what's the name of the guy? You know who whacked his opponent on the chin after being declared a loss? Lionel something? What's his name, man? My memory's gone. Sam Kellerman ended up taking him in, yeah, because and he ended up getting killed by him. And some people say even that they were into some kind of batty business. Okay. James Butler, not Lionel. Sorry, Lionel Butler's a different fact. James Butler killed Sam Kellerman. And the Kellerman brothers and this Sean Zittel, I don't know who he is, but judging by his name, they are just pushing an agenda. When a certain community and your certain people run the whole show, then you just make sure you follow the instructions. Big Dosso, Chittle B. Any thoughts on Eubank Jr.'s suspect going to be a dad to twin boys news? I think it's true, but it's deliberately released as a PR story because it's not selling. Let me tell you this for nothing. Let me tell you this for a treat. That bill is not selling. It's not selling on pay-per-view. It's not selling live. It's November in the freezing cold in the outside. It's a fight that doesn't mean anything. They've already burnt the story, the narrative like this. They burnt it already. Oh, the fathers. Oh, this is the narrative, and oh, there's all the haterism, and well, that's being finished now. So they need to find some PR angles to bring in, the pay-per-views, and every time I go to DAZN, I get hit with. As soon as I go on DAZN, I get hit with, "Would you like to buy Ben Eubank 2?" And I said, "No thanks," every time. And I ain't gonna buy that piece of shit. Hey, Triple, yeah, what's up, bro? What's up with you? Yeah, actually, you inspired me a bit to do this live. I'm gonna do 3 lives this week. I've got a great guest for Friday. A great guest. Follow on Instagram. He's called Escape the System, and he also has a YouTube channel. Check it out. He's a published author. His name is Joe Barnes. He is, he likes a bit of all drilling. Well, cafe latte drilling. And he's a great guy. He likes boxing. He's funny. And he's written a number of books on how to extract yourself from the system that's keeping you back. All right? Also, I'm amazed you uploaded 4 videos within 24 hours. Well, sometimes I go for, as I told you, I've been taking this lion's mane, and I don't know why. I don't know. I'm getting no money from advertising about it. I'm just saying it's a supplement, right? And it's kind of mushroom. It's not psychedelic. And they banned it for a bit in Britain. You're not allowed to cultivate it, right? But it's meant to be super for anxiety, depression, and my energy levels are now up. Now, when I'm feeling energetic, man, I'll do 4 videos a day, brother, and I'll still be shadow banned. So I'll still only get £2. I worked out. I love data. I love spreadsheets. I love Excel, right? Despite the fact it's a Windows product, but like I put it's not a very complicated spreadsheet, but I put a spreadsheet together, and I found out that I get paid £2.50 an hour. We don't get that in a sweatshop, bro. They probably get more in a Vietnamese sweatshop than I get paid. But I do it for the funds. I do it for the love, and that's it. So obviously I appreciate anyone who gives money, because we, i.e. the channel and the funds, are supported by the community. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tommy Gunn 1979. Viva the Triple B, brother. Great to see you. You haven't been around for it. Thank you for the £3. That's very generous. Yeah, man, I hear you've been kicking it, man, with some of the other fans and helping them out. I don't want to, use names, because, people might want to keep their stuff private. But yeah, that's great to see, man. It's really good to see, man. I hope you're well. God bless you, man. I hear you've been helping my mans a lot, So I've got much happiness for that. That's right. Big up Tommy Guns each and every time. Yeah, I haven't seen you for a bit. Maybe you'll be going for a rough time. So have a lot of people. But the fact that you're here and you're back and you're black, it's great to see you, brother. Yep. But that's right. Tommy Gunn, shout out to Big Mike each and every time. Shout out to both you guys. You guys are real. You guys are, you have a good moral compass. You know what I'm saying? Railway says, I didn't know I inspired you to do a live. It means a lot to me. No, because you dropped a message, right? You go, when's your next live? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do one on Friday with my boy Escape the System. And check him out Instagram and on YouTube. He's a very interesting guy, a published author. Yeah. And he loves his boxing. He loves his cafe latte drilling. But then you said, oh, when are you going to do live? And I thought, you know what? I'll do one tonight. So yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, you did inspire me to do it tonight, man. Boy, it means I like enjoy fried oysters. Just don't try Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, what you mean, oyster mushrooms, or you mean actual oysters? I don't really like oysters. I don't like eating an entire animal with its digestive system, its asshole, and stuff like that. So I don't like oysters. I'll eat prawns, but you're eating the one part of them. You're eating the meaty part of them. Prawns I like lobsters. They're essentially insects from the sea. But yeah, I won't eat no insects. Jarrod, I'm getting sick of seeing your face, Chippy. You're on too. Come on, bro. You know you don't mean that. You know you don't mean that shit. You love it. You love it. You love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Owen Foster, Lionel Butler fought Lennox Lewis. Yes, he did. Did he go distance? I think he did. He's one of those tough guys that's not a great boxer, but has a very good chin, right? Max Kellerman said Usyk. Oh, yeah. Matt, he's a scumbag. Max Kellerman, who knows nothing about boxing, who's never boxed, who tried to be a rapper, whose brother got whacked by James Butler for looking after a scumbag, a street ghetto hood rat scumbag, and yet he still supports these kind of fighters. Max Kellerman said Usyk doesn't have a good CV of fighters he's fought. It's a shocking take. Well, it is a shocking take. He probably just wants to get his stupid name. His stupid name. Now, how can he take a guy seriously who has come from a privileged background, who's never boxed? You know? What's the name of his rap? I want to play it, right? But I'm a bit scared that I'll get a copyright strike. It's really whack. Kellerman rap. Let's have a look, man. What a bum. Oh, yeah, it's called... Yeah, the boxing rap. I can't show it. Actually, that's actually not a bad rap. But, you know, I'm not going to back that piece of shit. Chubby, who runs a therapy industry. I assume that's a rhetorical question. And it's certainly a rhetorical question if you're asking me. People with certain size hats make depressed and cash in about it, mate. Yeah, and feed you pharmaceuticals. I'm reading the book, right? Check this one out. It's called The Empire of Pain. The Empire of Pain. It's a book about the Sackler family. Now, if you're red pilled, you don't need to look at the early life section of the Sackler family. But they manufactured, and by the way, they're not the only ones in the pharmaceutical industry, but they manufactured, you know, false data, false research that they funded. Now, what these pharmaceutical companies do is they fund so-called researchers, but they fund them with their own money to come up, and they know this. There's no agreement, but they know this, to prove that their medicines work. And we're talking about OxyContin here. OxyContin is one of the strongest. It's an opioid. It's like, I've done all opioids. I've done brown. I've done codeine. I've done Vicodin. And let me tell you this, man. Woof, it feel good. It feel good. But yeah, according to the Glasner family, yeah. And there's also another. What's it called? They did there's a documentary on it, but they also did a drama series on it, featuring the guy that played the original Batman. What's his name? The ugly guy, and called Dope Sick, and how the Glasner family misrepresented data and said that only 1% of people who tried OxyContin would ever get addicted, whereas it's more like 90%. You know, scumbags, scumbags. Yeah. Railway. I heard that Gay J and Jake Paul back and talks fighting in December. I don't think it'll happen, man. But I highly doubt it'll happen. I doubt it'll happen. I mean, like, listen. Say one about Gay J. He's a PD abuser. He's got a TV, most likely, almost certainly. He's a batty man. You know, he takes it in the wrong end from AKA skins, etc., etc. But he's fading as a fighter. But to imagine that Jake Paul would have a chance to him is ridiculous. Jake Paul, at his level, is not a bad fighter. But he also is on the tings, you know, the juice. But the only way that fight would happen would be if Gay J agreed, yeah, to go soft on Jake Paul and went in distance. But this would be embarrassing to Gay J's. Gay J's still in the mix as a real boxer, whereas Mike Tyson was like almost 60 years old, you know, and was just getting a nice payday, you know. Do you know what I find weird as well, right? It's amazing how sports fans, boxing fans, people that follow celebrities will forgive them almost anything. Yeah, Mike Tyson has been convicted of grape. Now, it was a very dodgy conviction, but of other things as well, like beating old age pensioners, slapping women up. So was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali non-stop a 12-year-old. Muhammad Ali made a 15-year-old pregnant behind his wife's back. And yet, these guys are martyrs. They're great. Roy Jones Jr. actually failed the test, and clearly was juicy. And you see his muscles, right? Bing. And still, just because they are people's idols, and I use that in a way that is mocking, they will refuse to accept the truth because most people can't handle the truth. Is your Remembrance Day video age restricted? It was originally age restricted after like 10 minutes. No, I appealed it and I won, but I've noticed how my views go whoop right down like this. When I first started, I used to get like 1,000, 2,000 views per video. Yeah. On a small channel with only 1,000 subs. Now I get like 300 because they shadow ban you, because they can't handle the truth, man. Without further ado, have you seen the suggested diet for the world masses? Sugar, corn, and seed oils mainly. It's the food pyramid all over again. Whatever they do the opposite. That's right. They stuff you full of chemicals, additives, artificial sweeteners, sugar corn syrup, which is one of the most unhealthy substances you can take. Yeah. Seed oils. Yeah, they continue to push that in food. Preservatives. Go and look at tortillas. I like tortillas. Like I like to make fajitas, stuff like this. But go. One time I just looked at. I was looking at this packet, and I was like, hang on, man. It's best before date. It's 3 months later, and I'm like, well, how can this be? All it is meant to be water, flour, and salt. Now that's going to go off quicker than 3 months, but then I looked at the ingredients, and there's so many chemical ingredients in these. You can't buy bread without getting poisoned. My boy Tony Maloney is in the house. What's up, my brother? What do you think the odds are that Mike Tyson gave Customato a shiner? Well, I think it's the other way around, and I've done a video on it. You can check it out. Customato, who was part of the secret society, has been pictured wearing the 33 number, was meant to be very creepy, possibly a nonce, and apparently he used to give blow jobs. Floyd Patterson, in Floyd Patterson's autobiography, i.e. written, or at least partially written by him, said that Customato used to share a bed with Floyd Patterson. So what does that tell you? He was a wrong'un. Getting all these young lads. And he had a penchant for, like what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer. He liked brown meat. So apparently he used to give blowjobs to all these people. Tyson admitted to doing 5 things in life that were worse than the grape conviction. Wow. And also he said that he wished that he had raped her. He's a total piece of shit. I know. You got a guy who's spent his entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. Tyson had a hard life. He was abandoned by his dad. His mother was a hooker. He was bullied. Riddick Bowe used to say, because Riddick Bowe came from the same neighborhood as Mike Tyson, and he said we used to call him Bummy Mike. Everyone used to avoid him. He was weird. And then, but he does like animals. He like pigeons and stuff, and I think that's nice. He obviously has a part of him that's quite nice. But he lived such a dysfunctional life that he ended up being a mess. But on the other hand, he still robbed tons of people. Yeah, and robbery is not good. Robbery has a psychological effect on people. It makes someone feel humiliated. They might get beaten. I've been robbed a few times, but it didn't bother me, right? I've been robbed at knife point a few times, but it didn't bother me because I was grown up and I was a man. And one of the guys I managed to catch, and I smashed. I thought I killed him. I smashed him to pieces, man. But which is very satisfying. But you know, I'm worried I killed him. So what I'm saying is, most people, though, when they go through some traumatic experience, will get badly affected. So robbing old people, beating up old men, slapping women up. This is not someone who you want to, you know, idolize. Yeah. Railway. I saw a recent video of Big John. I tried to find a video he did in the hotel room on his Instagram. I couldn't find it for some reason. He must have deleted it or something. It's definitely up on his X, on his Twitter. So you can still find it, man. And you can see it on my video anyway. You know, he's a piece of shit as well, right? Pushing gluttony and greediness. That's a tautology. I've explained that. What's my video on that? Yeah. And he's pushing all this and he's boasting about it. And not only that, he's playing the victim. Oh, you guys call me a fat, greedy, gluttonous piece of shit, a huge gammon-faced hog with legs like Richmond sausages. You guys are terrible because you might cause people to commit suicide. Meanwhile, he's going to Claridge's, embarrassing his own wife, taking pictures of his wife. Maybe I'll find the video. I can't be bothered. But you can see it on my video. It's called Big John Fisher at Claridge's. And he's been crying on Twitter today, so he must have seen it. And he's saying like, oh yeah, bring it on, you haters. I can take it. You're a piece of shit, man. I mean, I quite like the way the Fisher family have stayed together and maintained the family unit. But John Fisher has undeserved ego. He's self-indulgent. He's self-satisfied. He's greedy. He's a disgusting, huge hog. That's right. Boy, he was customers who loved his young big bucks. He was known for it. He had white fighters as well, but he, you know, he definitely, like Jeffrey Dahmer, liked the brown meat. Oh, that's why I don't see it, because I don't have X. Yeah, well done, man. I've got like a alias account, but, you know. Prince D. I had to get my boy onto the Tribute contact. He loves it. Oh, well done, bro. Give me his name, man. I'll give him a big up, man. I give him a big up, man. I give big up to my boy, Prince D. Big up to everyone on the channel, all the fans. Tony Maloney. Where's Michael? Yeah, I only announced this live about less than an hour ago, so a lot of people might not see it. But have you seen the stuff with Gotti's son? Yeah, Gotti's daughter is raising money. Right, this is very important. To investigate Gotti's ex-wife for killing her brother, the same one who's rumored to have murdered Gatti. Now, I've done a video on it, but I mentioned it in a live. So Arturo Gatti Sr. died, and I read a book on it in very suspicious circumstances. You know, was it in Brazil? You know, these kind of countries, don't get me wrong, the police in America, in the UK, in the Western world are very bent, yeah, but they have a little bit more integrity than police in like Mexico or Brazil. Now, it was suggested that when Arturo Gatti's son, who was a very promising boxer and who showed no signs of depression, was found hung in Mexico, age 17. And when he was 18, okay, he was going to inherit a lot of the wealth because of his age. So there are rumors that his own mother, these are rumors, these are allegations, okay? So that's all I can say. You know, that's all I can say. I can't, it seems like a terrible thing to do. But if she did whack her own son, she's not the first person to have done it. Look at, what's that one who killed 6 of his own kids by fire? Mick Philpott? It happens, man. Oh, Mark, a.k.a. the Growler Prowler. Hey, big up to you, Mark, the Growler Prowler. Great to see you on the show. Make sure you subscribe, like, blah, blah. If you can donate, donate. You know, everything is received with gratitude in the Triple B show. What are your thoughts on the time we use Franklin, and will you see it live? So a railway, surely you must have seen my video on it, because you're a fan who follows the show very well. I think it's a great bit of matchmaking by Fish Eyes, because Franklin is rated. He's got a good record. He's only lost to Gay J and Dillian White. Dillian White was controversial. He's very, he's a defensive fighter. He's sturdy though. He's solid. So it's a great bit of matchmaking to get Itama some rounds in, because he blows everyone out in the first 2 rounds generally. Yeah. So it's a very good bit. Try and get some rounds for Itama and a world ranking. He was offered a shot at Frank Sanchez to get a mandatory IBF shot. He didn't take it, but I don't have a problem with that from a management perspective or a promotional perspective. The problem is this: they will make it pay-per-view. I did see it. I forgot. Bro, stay off the crack, brother. No, I'm just kidding, man. Primal Prediction in the house. What do you think Ben's plan should be? Against Eubank. I actually think he's got a chance. And by that, I think a chance on points. You can get 4-1 on Ben on points. That's interesting. Not for a big bet, but for a small bet. Because Ben has a very good work rate. He's a lot fresher than Chris Eubank Jr. Again, I've done a video on this. You can check it out. But his plan should be work rate. Yeah. And try and win the rounds by throwing more punches, landing more punches. They've already fought once. I believe there's a rehydration clause in the second fight. So he should definitely aim to come on strong in the latter rounds. But I think there's a decent chance Conor Bunn will win. And also, from a business perspective, what does that mean? Well, it means there could be another fight, which is the last thing I want to see. But, you know, I think Ben should aim for the chest ribs first half. Then try to catch him in the last race. Eubank was chasing the knockout. Yeah. People forget, like, people, right, head punches always look more dramatic, and a lot of people don't score body shots as well because they don't have the same drama as knocking someone's head back. But if you aim for the chest, it's actually quite a good tactic. You aim for the chest, right? If you hit the chest, you knock him back, and it's still a scoring shot. If someone ducks their head down, you hit them in the chin. It's aiming for the chest. Some people will say is a really good technique. USA boxing is dead and will probably never recover. Boomers love their American football bucks. Too much for them to switch. True. And also, Americans always want to be number one. They're so bitter that they don't rule the heavyweights. They don't rule boxing anymore. And they always try and blame, it's because of basketball and NFL are taking away all the big bucks. Well, sorry, wait a minute. NFL and NBA didn't only just start up. They've been going for years, and there's been a lot of money in it for years. It's because the Eastern Bloc fighters, Chinese fighters, all these parts of the world that never used to turn pro. And also, Americans are cowards. They only box in their own country most of the time. F them. I don't care. This is why they push Mexican Americans and Mexicans so highly in boxing, because the biggest buyers, to my understanding, of pay-per-views in US boxing are Mexican Americans. So that's why they want their Canelos, they want their Benavidez, who's actually half Ecuadorian, but they never say that. What's the other guy? Gilberto Ramirez. That's why they protect and push these guys. And Oscar De La Homo, made a lot of money. And, what's the other guy? Virgil Ortiz Jr., who just beat Erickson Lubin, brutalized him. I like him a lot. I like him. He's got that poker-faced Mexican attack. That poker face look in his face, the left hooks to the body. He wants to hurt you. He's not interested in the points decision. So Vergil Ortiz Jr. is allegedly going to fight Jaron Ennis, but there's already problems. So we'll probably miss out on another good fight. Bang Nanny Paddy. KJ is fighting Fake Paul on Netflix next month. What, for sure? Let me check this out, man. Surely not, man. Jake Paul. I was about to put in, right, on my search, Jake Paul, Gay J, are they fighting? But obviously, most people don't realize his name is Gay J. So let's have a look. What does it say? It says, this is according to The Sun, which is the scum. Anthony Joshua is locked in talks over fighting Jake Paul next month on Blockbuster Netflix Showdown. So it might be happening, man. You sound like Barry Jones touching the chest. Barry Jones is the worst world champion ever. His son actually got upset. I did a video saying he's whack. And I don't hate Barry Jones. I thought he's a decent enough commentator. He's a likable guy. But he's whack. You know, he beat a guy that had lost, who'd previously had lost a fight to someone who had 4 fights. And he was whack. Acelino Freitas splattered him. Weirdly, Barry Jones, who's got 1 knockout out of 20 fights, actually dropped him. But anyone can catch someone off guard. But KJ's fighting Jake Paul. Well, we'll wait, man. Like I said, there's so many rumors and conversations about, you know, boxing's become a soap opera. It's a modern soap opera. When all people do is talk. It's like EastEnders, gossip, chat. I'm not interested in rumors. I'm interested until once it's signed and once the first press conference has happened, which means it's likely to go ahead, then I'm interested. But I can't for 1 minute believe Jake Paul. I mean, Gay J is a pumped up, PD, juiced up, huge Batman buck, but he can still fight. I can't believe that Jake Paul would have a chance, but obviously they script things, and maybe boxing is becoming more and more scripted. People say the NFL is scripted as well. Go and check it out. There's a lot of videos on YouTube. You ever see that free pic of Conor Bunn where his boxing gloves are covering his core? No, no, it's not the sort of thing I search for. It doesn't surprise me. Fruitiness is being pushed in every single arena that it can be. Railway boxing. When I went to Pack Award, yeah, I remember that fight. Tony Curtis walked past me. He's nearly as tall as me. And I'm like, how'd you make 150 pounds? And I saw others at the weigh-in as Tony Curtis is a bit of so he's meant to be the super kid, the wonder kid, lightning Tony Curtis. He's got a huge head and a tiny chin. And he's got no muscle definition. He can't punch. He's got a few skills, and he's allegedly trained by Roy Jones Jr., but it's BS. He's not trained by Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones just turns up on the night. He probably gets paid for it. They pay first class for him to come over and show his idiotic face. And Tony Curtis is going to get chinned as soon as he fights anyone half decent. Yeah, boy means even the heavyweight American prospects suck, like Jared Anderson. Torres Jr. can't compete globally. Torres Jr. is a sellable fighter at least. You know, he looks like Tom Selleck. He's got a moustache. Weirdly, he does ballet, but apparently that's going to improve his footwork. He got silver medal, right, against Bakhtir Jalolov, who, by the way, I meant to do a video on this. Bakhtir Jalolov fought 2 weeks ago on a Monday, and I watched it live. I meant to do a video. I forgot to do it, but he got hurt in the 5th round, and I thought dropped by a guy with a record of 7-3. The guy who was 7-3 actually had a good amateur background. It was basically he looked like Vladimir Putin. Yeah? And Jalolov didn't want to be there. So I don't think Jalolov wants to fight. Torres Torres has potential to make money, but is he good enough? Probably not. Probably not. Jared Anderson is a piece of shit. He used to go in wearing an orange jumpsuit and like, didn't he come in wearing like handcuffs, orange jumpsuit to honor his brother? This is the same brother that murdered a local, well-liked retail businessman who wasn't even rich. He murdered him with a bunch of pals when he went to rob him. And Jared Anderson is trying to honor him. Why did people let this go? Prince D, Ortiz v. Boots is needed. Yeah, what do you think of that one? I think it's a great fight, and I so hope it happens. But already De La Homo's going, oh, well, you know, there's a lot of talks we've got to do. It's like he's stalling. No one wants to lose their stars these days. Boots Ennis might be slightly overrated. I don't think he's been dropped. Ortiz got dropped twice by Serhai Bohashuk in a fight that I thought he lost. But he looks solid. He's exciting. I think Boots will be the favorite, like 2-1 on favorite. But Ortiz has a good chance, and I hope that Ortiz wins. By the way, remember, if you look in the description, you can super chat. You can super sticker. You can Bitcoin, you can Litecoin, you can buy me a beer, because this is how the channel stays alive. Primal Patrician. What about Teofimo vs. Haney is signed for January? Is it? I thought Haney was fighting. Who is he fighting? Haney is fighting someone called Fulton. Is it Fulton? Hang on, I might have. Give me a look, man. I can't remember because things change all the time. But he's fighting a guy, and it's kind of evens. He's a slight underdog, right? But he's fighting a guy. I don't know if it's Stephen Fulton. I think it's someone else, actually. Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is the slight favorite. So I haven't heard, unless that's changed, he won't be fighting Teofimo in January. Teofimo also is overrated. I like him as a character, but he got very lucky beating Lomachenko. For some reason, Lomachenko was very subpar that night. But Teofimo, did he get beaten by Kambosos? Kambosos is very ordinary at world level, or he's got loads of heart. So I don't know. I don't think it's happening, at least not yes. It depends what you like, doesn't it, Barry? Yeah, thank you, Adam Smith. I can't believe they took him on Dazon, man. They had to ruin Dazon with that piece of shit. Both Ortiz and Boots want like 10 million, and they don't want to go to Saudi. They want to fight in their home state. Might happen if each get a title. There's always problems with these big fights. When Turkey, Sheikh, and Saudi got involved in boxing with a lot of money, we thought that all the big fights were going to happen, and for a period, it looked like that was the case. But now, I don't know whether they're pulling their money out, whether they're not getting the big bag out. But the big fights don't seem to be happening. Was it Barry Jones? Prince Patel said he didn't want to be like him, quoting he was the most forgettable world champion. Yeah, there was on the Steve Bunce show on Setanta. So that's how long ago it was. Setanta, you remember that? It was meant to be Irish version of Sky Sports. It didn't last very long. And Prince Patel's like, and there's Barry Jones, Steve Bunce, and Prince Patel. Prince Patel's like, look, with all respect, I don't want to be like Barry Jones. No one knows who Barry Jones is. Yeah, he didn't earn any money, and he's right. He's right. Right? You know, Barry Jones is the worst world champion ever, I think, in terms of achievement. You know, he seemed virtually area level, but yeah, he did say that, man. It was murdering her. He's murdering him, man. He was murdering Will Smith from behind. Will was getting murdered. Yeah, it's that thing. It's been forgotten. Things get forgotten so quickly. It's that expression, right? Today's news is tomorrow's chip paper. Fish and chip paper. It's a very English expression, because fish and chips used to be wrapped in newspaper. So it's like, whatever happens tomorrow, people have forgotten it. And they have. So Will Smith's own personal assistant said he was at a party. And people go, where's Will? Where's Will? He goes, I don't know where Will is. I'll go find Will. He goes, everyone's freaking out. And then he went to Will's dressing room or something. He opened the door to find someone murdering Will from behind. Murdering him in the batty hole. And people seem to have forgotten that. It goes back to the same thing, yeah? Because most people are pathetic and they're raised on celebrities. If they really like a celebrity, they don't want to accept something weird. And go and have a look at Will Smith's sons. Look how they've turned out. I heard rumors Conor Bond was going on Celebrity Get Me Out of It. Yeah, apparently he's been booked after the fight. But I'm like, that's too soon after his rematch with Eubank. Well, what does that tell you? What does that imply? It could imply that Eubank will lose the fight and is expected to lose the fight and may, he's 36 now. He's not going to go anywhere. Conor Bum is like, 29, but he's a lot fresher. It almost makes you think, is it a setup for Ben to win? And that's why, if you want value, I would bet on Conor Bum winning the fight. The odds are not great, 2.5. So that's like, what's that, like 6-4 or something. But on points, Conor Bum is 4-1. It's not a bad bet. Roy Jones is a whack trainer. Yeah. Casuals always busting up when they hear great fighters allegedly training someone. How many great fighters ended up being great trainers? Well, I'm glad you said that because I was about to bring that up. The problem is a fighter who's really skillful and good expects every other fighter to have this. And also, Roy Jones was a big juicer. Imagine being that good and still you juice. He failed the test. Yeah. So imagine you get these great fighters and they expect everyone else that's boxing to box just like them and be as good. The best boxing trainers, like, I don't know, Freddie Roach, let's say, I don't know how good he is, or Floyd Mayweather Sr., are not very good boxers. They understand the game and they've been there, but they understand that the fighter they're bringing up has to, adapt their style. They have to work to their strengths. Primal Patricia, I like to see Andy Ruiz Visitano. That's a super fight. And it also depends whether Andy's in shape. He's meant to fight Deontay Wilder, but nothing's been confirmed. I'm glad my man's here, Michael Maloney. Even Chubby, what up, man? Great to see you, man. We got Tony Maloney and Michael Maloney. Primal Patrician. I think the oil prices dictate if they can spend for the big fights. Oh, you mean Saudi? Yeah. And it's not Turkey's money. He's been past the money. And they're trying to, what's they call it, sports wash Saudi. They're trying to make it a destination because allegedly, they may be running out of oil. I don't necessarily believe that. And oil is being used less. So without oil, Saudi would be a bunch of camel jockeys, really. And Saudi is a fake country set up by Lawrence of Arabia and MI6. Check it out. Out of all the British prospects, right? Whose would you say is the most overhyped one? Who is the most underrated one? It could be one, more than one if you like, Chilby. Good question. Who do I think is the most overrated? There's a bunch of them. And I've said this in my lives, in my videos. Cameron Vong, Junaid Boston, guys like that are just never going to make it. Never. Dalton Smith, I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's going to be world class. Sam Noakes, I'm not sure. Apparently, he punches really hard. They call him Shakur Stevenson, but can he beat Abdullah Mason? I don't know. Who's the most underrated? Underrated's a difficult one, because generally the hype machine is so big these days that if you're even vaguely good, they'll hype you, like, you know, Cameron Vaughn or Junaid Boston or Jordan Flynn, who are all whack. I would say Itam was the best prospect, and he's a heavyweight, but he's not underrated. Is he overrated? I don't think so. We'll wait and see. Who else? Pat Brown. Pat Brown is very interesting. He hits very hard. He's very exciting. You know, he looks the part. But again, he's not overhyped, but he's not underhyped. I think people will wait and see, and they will push him right. And you know, Manchester, England, are a very big fight city, so they would love to have. You know, you remember when they had Ricky Hatton, Anthony Farnell, Michael Gomez, a bunch of other guys. Catterall he's not from Manchester, he's just outside Chorley, I think. But you know, they get behind their fighters. So Pat Brown, he hasn't been overhyped or underhyped, but he is an interesting one. Yeah, that's right. Will Smith got turned out. Yeah, he got smashed in the back. He got murdered. He got murdered. It was murder in there, man. He was bent over the couch, being murdered from behind. Roy Jones's fighter lost in the undercard of Ortiz Lubin. Yeah, what is his name again? I didn't follow anymore. I just don't, you know. Listen, unless you're a heavyweight, which is the real division, you know, I'm not going to buy into any hype until he beats someone good. Right, this is exactly my point, Michael Maloney. And I say this again and again. Michael knows his boxing. The journeymen make great coaches because they understand the game, and they did it the hard way. Guys that are super talented expect their own fighters to be as fast as them, have as good reflexes as them, and they try and base it on their own style. One of the weirdest trainers was Kevin Rooney. Kevin Rooney was a bit of journeyman type. Alexius Arguello knocked him out. He was decent, but not that great. And then he worked for Costamato and developed Mike Tyson. But the problem was, apart from the fact he was an alcoholic, which doesn't help, the problem was that Kevin Rooney, tried to get everyone to fight like Mike Tyson. So you remember Vinny Pazienza, the Pazmaniac. So he started to train Vinny and try and make him do that whole, that whole head movement, ducking thing with the hands up that Tyson used to do. And it didn't work. It looked like someone impersonating Tyson. It looked like an Italian impersonating Tyson. It didn't work. You have to have a bit of, you have to have more depth to what you can teach. And that's why journeymen make the best trainers, because they fought a lot of good fighters. They failed against some good fighters, but they also had some good wins. But they understand the game. Yeah, great point there. Lee, great point on the trainings. Thank you. Those that can do, those that can't teach. Right. That was a cliche about teachers in the UK, especially. Those that can, those that can't teach. Sometimes what you don't know is what incentivizes you to try and find out for yourself. This is discouraged by the nanny state. Of course it is, because they just want you to obey their rules. Right, it's been an hour, and I've got £3 generously off Tony Gunn. Huh? So, someone got a dip in their pocket. Anyway, ST, you've been shadowbanned so much. How did he manage to get over 30k views on that one Opataya video? The weird thing is, occasionally, and it shouldn't be 30k. It should be 230k views. Like Nordic Warrior, yeah, he did a video on the worst referee in the world called Lawrence Cole, and he got over 1 million views for that. And when I was starting off as a channel, I'd get like loads of views, but because I got shadow banned, I don't appear in the results. I don't appear in search results, but occasionally you'll hit something good. Like I did a Paul Galen vs Sonny Bill Williams, I think, video just after the fight had happened, and it was just a 10-minute video, and it got 75k views. So occasionally you can hit on some search terms that other people are not using. That's all it is. But, you know, if I do a video on Jake Paul, I'll get like 200 views. Can you imagine Boston vs. Wayne Alexander or Jamie Moore? Oh, Janae, but Wayne Alexander, man. Now, listen, man. Wayne Alexander, he was WBO world champion, which in those days meant a little bit, right? But he only got given one shot at the world title against Harry Simon on 24 hours notice. This is one of the most exciting, big punching British fighters there's ever been. Wayne Alexander's kind of guy hit you like that, and then the guy will go blop and drop. Jamie Moore, incredible heart. Him, Matthew Macklin, you know, yeah, they would destroy Boston. He's rubbish, man. Michael, I think Pat Brown will get a cruiserweight title. I think so, but you know, having said that, the cruiserweight division has never been deep historically and currently. You know, if you're a good cruiserweight, the ultimate aim is to move up to heavyweight because that's where the big money comes in. So I think, yeah, Pat Brown will get a cruiserweight world title. I believe so, but it all depends. Can he take punch? There's no reason to think he can't. He punches very hard. He's aggressive. He's exciting. He's media friendly. He's a potential British star. But then again, you look at Jay Opataya. This guy is one of the pound for pound best. And he's been reduced to fighting bums because there's no one there. And he's not been promoted heavily. He should be on the front of Ring Magazine and stuff like that. I think Pat Brown is perfectly rated. I agree as well. The problem with Pat Brown, the main problem with Pat Brown, and he's got some good training. He's got Jamie Moore, right? The Pat Brown is a little easy to hit. But, you know, that could be his style as well. You know, Nigel Benn, people said he was a bit easy to hit. But when you're blasting people out, like Julian Jackson, Wayne Alexander, people like that, you know, you will get hit. You know, it's a fallacy. They're chinny punchers. They're not chinny. It's because they take more risks. Rather than just sitting there with their hands up like Jermaine Franklin and trying not to get hit, these guys are opening up with big shots because that's how they fight. So they're much more likely to get hit with clean shots. So I think that's the case with Pat Brown. But I also think that with his power, right, and when you go over to America, when you get a British prospect to go over to America, it's not like fighting in the UK where you fight a bum who's had like 80 losses and 3 wins. They will match you against a half-decent guy. I actually think Adam Azim vs. Kurt Scooby-Doo is not a bad fight. Not a bad fight. Scooby-Doo can punch. He got beaten by the white guy, Dakota Linger, and he was not expecting. He got knocked out. So clearly he is vulnerable, but he can punch. I think he's got 16 wins out of 18 KOs. Adam Azim vs. Scooby-Doo is a good fight. Did you see Coogan put his sponsor's logo on pictures of Ricky Hatton's funeral? Oh no, really? That's just classless. I'm sorry, man. He's just no shame. He probably even keeps his sponsor's logo on a picture he takes of women taking dumps. Yeah, he's probably got like a pair of ebony bitches' underwear with skid marks all over it, right? And it's got IFL TV stamped on it. Big Dossa says, my bollocks are ginger. Yeah, ginger guys have got big bollocks. I mean, metaphorically, certainly, because even Big John Fiore, he went, hey, I've never met a ginger lad who hasn't got heart. I've never met a ginger lad who hasn't got bottle. And I think of the ginger guys at the boxing gym, and they all have bottle, probably because they've been given a hard time, because it's the only acceptable form of prejudice. Yeah, Michael says, Tony, that's disgraceful. Yeah, it is disgraceful. Big John claims he's not a celebrity. Oh, well, he wishes he was. He wants to be, right? Oh, Prince D. All right, Giorgio Vicioli. Sorry, talk about prospects. It looks good from what I've seen. Right. And again, he's another guy that fought in America. When you've got a British prospect and they take him to America, to fight a half decent guy, and the American journeymans are way better than the English bum journeymans with all the losses, then you got to take him seriously. Vicioli won on points clearly against some guy. He was not as impressive as Pat Brown, who had violence, who had viciousness, who had power. But Vicioli, I like. Yeah, doesn't he fight? Is his manager? His manager like Sonny Edwards, who said he's going to fight again. And he started boasting. The problem with Sonny Edwards is like he can't stop himself from talking shit. He came on the channel and everything, and although I had him by the nuts, and he's like going, oh yeah, I might come back. This is after he quit against Yafai, and he showed heart against Bam Rodriguez, but he still got ironed out, and he got put over, face down, ass up. But he goes, yeah, I might come back, but there's not a lot of flyweights. But that's why people want to see me, because I'm so good. Come on, Sonny. That's ridiculous, man. Imagine we get Howard Foster for Eubank Jr. v. Spen. Oh, that fat, porcine bum. I wonder who he'd go for, though. That's the important thing. Who would he, like, from a promotional aspect, who would they want to win that fight? I reckon Bum. Without further ado, Retro, thank you so much. Where's Shane Bongos? We need him. Somewhere Shane is sorting out some problem. Yeah, I rarely do a show this early in the week. Shane's usually here on a weekend, but I got Ernie, and Ernie has got the juju stick. Shane Bongo, Shane Bongo, Shane Bongo. By the way, if I wanted to cook 6 million cookies, stop it. You always get me in trouble. Yeah, let's hope Shane will get on, man. I don't know. Maybe he's working, man. I think he does pretty well, man. The double RH25. Hey, lads. Hey, what's up, man? Michael Malone, the Fed BKM has some sickening video of Eba. Who's Eba, bro? What's that about? I don't know what that's about, bro. Somebody in your chat claimed that Tyson is in Jug. Has that been confirmed? Was it bullshit? I think it's bullshit. I've asked, this guy, Kane Dingle, come on saying he's in Doncaster Nick for mortgage fraud. Now, what? You don't get put on remand, right? You don't get put on remand for mortgage fraud. It doesn't happen. You only get put on remand for serious offences, if you've got a long line of violent offences, this kind of thing. So I think it's just bullshit. But I don't really care about Time Booth. Why? Because he's a nonce. He's a grass. He's a woman abuser. He's a wrong'un. He's disloyal. He's a turncoat. So, I thought he couldn't even afford a house. So how is he going to get involved in mortgage fraud? So I don't believe that shit. I like Big John. He's a good guy. No, he's not. He's a fat, self-indulgent, gluttonous hog. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he's not a good guy. Mike Maloney, Ebony's saying she ain't a home wrecker while she drinks out of the OnlyFans cup. Anyone, imagine that, right? She's now got a kid with Kel Brook, right? Who, I don't know the truth. Was he married when he was with her? I don't know. But, he's a batty man anyway. He likes ketamine and fisting, right? Any woman, she's like 39 and she's showing her saggy, badly tattooed batty on OnlyFans, and you got a kid, and this stuff is going to last forever. It's not going to disappear, is it? Imagine the poor kid when he grows up, man. People go, look at your mum. She's a disgusting get. I actually rate Boots Ennis highly, but Ortiz punches like a mule. I rate Boots, which is a weird nickname. I don't know where that comes from. But Ortiz does punch like a mule, and I like his deadpanness. The fact he goes for the stoppage. He's always coming forward. He's hitting you with left hooks to the body. He's hitting you in the head. He's hitting you with left hooks to the head, yeah. I've been watching old TV called Bad Lads On. It's very Good, I recommend it. What's it about, man? And why did you like it? What does jug mean? It means prison. It means a nick. There you go. So yeah, I don't think I even searched on it. I was like, well, you know, these days there's so many, because of the internet. There's so many news articles. Half of them are generated by AI. And the fact there's no mention of that makes me think, you know, he hasn't done any videos. As I said, I don't care about him anyway. He's disloyal. He's a turncoat. He's a nonce. Yeah. Doesn't Ty live in a tent by the river? Well, someone said that. I don't know if it's a setup. As I said, I don't follow him. I don't. On the Triple B show, we do not back grasses. We don't back nonces. We don't back women abusers. We don't back turncoats. Ebony bitches ain't much to look at anyway. Yeah, she's horrible, man. All her tattoos, you know. And she's such a whack boxer, man. Ah, Donnie. My boy Donnie. Yes. Good to see you another live chat. Great to see you here, brother. Great to see you here. Well, how are things, man? What's going on, man? I hope you're well. Yeah, the Triple K. Is Ebony bitches still with Tetley T-Man Brooke? Brooke got stabbed once because he came on to do. He did, yeah. He went, you know, he's partying with some guy, and he went back and did ketamine, and then apparently, allegedly, Brooke started coming on to him, and this guy was like, you know, he defended himself with a blade, and there were no charges. You notice that? If you get attacked by someone with a blade and you undergo a serious injury and you know who this guy is, usually there follows a police investigation and charges. But this never happened. Why? Because Kelbrick knew he was trying to grape or sexually abuse this young man. Oh, sorry, yeah. Tyne already busted his case by being a grass, hanging around with the feds. That's right, man. Scumbag. See it on Facebook. See how many bucks fall for AI. We was kangs. I know it's embarrassing, man, but it's always been the case. I mean, there's not much to boast about. If you're a buck, is a hip hop, basketball, you know. Oh, drug dealers. Don't forget. Don't back them either. Yeah. Exactly. Drug dealers do a lot of damage to society. Now you could say, like, well, no one's forcing people to buy drugs, but right. Until cocaine swamped the UK, hardly anyone did it. People stay away from it. They were like, no, man, I'm not doing that. And they were right. And then it started to flood the UK in availability, and people started to do it. And now it has a very big suicide rate for yayo users. Malcolm Maloney, she's grim. Yeah, she is awful, Ebony bitch. I meet this Mexican girl this Saturday. But my Corey is out of commission for about a month. The Triple K. The Triple K. Yeah. Well, do you want to say what it stands for? Tell us, Donnie, what the Triple K stands for. Yeah, horrible. Imagine what her Ebony's fanny's like. Imagine the smell. Imagine the smell. It must be like a... What are those things? You know when you're at the airport and there's what's called a windsock? A huge windsock that you know that lets you know where the wind's blowing. Her fanny must be like that, or like the Euro tunnel, and it must stink. Imagine how many nuts have been busted up there. Blech. The show is about 21st century lads that tried 1950s national service to come out in the early mid 2000s. I didn't think they would air anything like that on TV now, and series is on YouTube. Oh. I saw one or two of those things, but I don't really watch much TV because TV's whack, you know, number one. Number two, these reality shows are scripted to a lot of extent. You remember Jersey Shore with The Situation, DJ Pauly D and the Meatball? They were like heavily scripted. The same with Big Brother. They encourage people to have certain conversations and film them, you know? And if they're just having normal, boring conversations, they'll never show it. They encourage people to fall out with each other, to have a row, you know, to talk about certain difficult subjects. The director will manipulate them, Yeah, it's all BS. Reality TV. Interesting fact, women's toilets stink more than men's. I've heard that. I remember, right? I was told that women are more gross than men. And I was like, I can't believe that, man, because men are like quite gross. But you know, I rented out when I had a flat. I rented out to some women, and I came back and I cleared it up afterwards, and there was all these shit stains on the toilet. There was knickers with blood and skid marks everywhere, and I was like, blood clot. I was pretty shocked. Donnie, the Triple K, yeah, the Korean Corey King. Just to let everyone know, I've got a Corey enlargement, lengthening and widening. Should add over an inch in length and width. How much did it cost you, Donnie? In like GBP or US dollars? I mean, yeah. So we've got like the Korean ladies when the surgery, the injuries clear up. Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting there, rubbing their hands, partially in fear, but partially in excitement, at the Korean Corey King, the Triple K. Bill the Kill. Great to see you, brother. Thanks for your time and knowledge, Chubby. Love you, blood. No, it's great to see you, bro. Great to see you, brother. I remember you know, you've given me a lot of money and stuff back in the day in cash. Well done, brother. I appreciate it. Gross. What, Emily? What do you mean, the shitty knickers? Yeah, that's disgusting, man. Lee Boy 2K1. Funny how street drugs became widely available after 63, which is also when JFK was whacked speaking against Vatican II was when higher-ranking Jesuit clergy were blackmailed. Yeah, things changed a lot. None of these things happen by chance. What do people think it's a chance that suddenly, when it was ecstasy years, right? Ecstasy was a very different drug. It was brought over from Holland, and it made people chill and be happy and have a good time. And it wasn't addictive. It might have had some psychological issues, but on the whole, it didn't do much damage. And then Yale came in, which is very expensive, which is very Moorish, which is very addictive, which is very damaging psychologically. Nothing happens by chance, man. The Triple K, the Korean Corey King, about 800 quid, not too bad. 800 quid for an extra inch of Corey and some width, some girth. Yeah. Michael Maloney. I backed Esserman to beat Taylor last time. Can he beat the boring cat roll? Worth a look. That was a good bet. The odds are not that exciting. Catterall is underrated boxer. I wouldn't be betting on that fight myself. Maybe a $5 for fun, but that's it, man. How much do you think Conor Bum will win in a rematch? He was 156 in the first fight. He'll probably do a better job. He's probably on the eggs again. And they never tell us the weight. You know, they weigh in 36 hours before they fight. In the old days, they would weigh in the day of the fight at like 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. and they'd be fighting 7 hours later. But now, in 36 hours, like Devin Gainey, who was a boxer at light welter, 140 pounds, would put on 20 pounds. 20 pounds. So he'd come in as a middleweight, you know, allegedly fighting a light heavyweight. Michael Maloney, I can't watch Catterall. He's too boring. He is a bit boring. He's not a risk taker. He's a very skillful boxer. I'll give him that, though. But, you know, I do think he beat Josh Taylor in the first fight, but I don't think he sells many tickets. Catterall with Boots trainer now. I doubt it was changing style. People always get too excited. Oh, he's got a new trainer. It's going to change him. It rarely does. It rarely does. When you've got guys that have had long amateur careers, right, and high-level professionals, what is a new trainer going to teach them? The trainers that make the difference to a boxer are when the boxer starts off, when they're amateurs. And most amateur trainers are rubbish as well, man. Carroll is talented, refuses to throw lead punches. He's too careful. I'll leave you with Ernie. I'm just going to join the lizard. Remember, you can super shekel. Can someone summon Shane Bongos? We need Shane Bongos in the house. But, I mean, what other fights are people looking forward to? There's not a lot. What's happening to boxing? Is boxing dead? I told you, I did a video on it, right? Boxing News has gone monthly. It's merged, allegedly, they actually bought the brand. It's merged with Boxing Monthly. So Boxing News, after they've been going since 1909 as a weekly publication, is now in 2026. So how many years later is that? 117 years later is going to go monthly. Is that to do with the newspaper industry and the digital industry, or is it got to do with the fact that boxing is losing its popularity? Is boxing losing its popularity as the youngsters get more and more into, UFC? That's a very big question. But they've been saying boxing is going to die for years, and they've been saying since 1900 that boxing is dying, and it's still, well, I wouldn't say it's healthy, but it's still going. It's still going. But yeah, Boxing News is going monthly. You're doing a live for the fight on Saturday, Trouble? Yes, I will. But obviously, I'm not buying it. So I'm just hoping that, my links are going to be good. Also curious, after the Vatican, Lee's very red pill, man. After the Vatican II, the Hays Obscenity Code was abolished, which led to promote slasher movies being churned out. Even Ted Bundy's said he was aroused by it. Yeah. And I was damaged by horror films and stuff like that, and porn, which I watched from the age of like 12, 13, 11. And they're like, oh, these are 18s, you're not meant to watch it. Well, what difference does that make, man? Did you see Kanye West apologize? What did he apologize for? What did he apologize for? Trainers are overrated, true, agreed. Yeah, in the ceremonial wedding, the announcer still reads it out wrong. Not only that, he might call you a baby snatcher. They're very limited fights now for 2025. There's Benavidez Yard. Yard is a big outsider, like 10-1. Underrated David Benavidez. He's actually a really good fighter. What else is there on? Adam Azim vs. Scooby-Doo. Bam Rodriguez is on that build too. But there's nothing big. And the real big fights are always the heavyweight fights. What's happening in the heavyweights? Where are the big heavyweight fights? We had Joseph Parker vs. Fabio Woody. Great fight. I hope you took my tip. It shouldn't have been pay-per-view, but Parker, I like Parker. He's very gentlemanly. He accepts it when he lost. He doesn't moan. As a kid, I always read Boxing News, and monthly. Problem with the Ring and KO, they were a couple of months behind. Yeah, they were ridiculous. Sometimes 3 months behind. Yeah, so Kanye apologized for the rabbi, for offending the community. Oh, well, it's like Dave Chappelle and people like that. If you speak out too much, you will get. Who's the guy? Wiley. You know Wiley? Free Wiley. What was Wiley's song? Next thing, she's wearing my Rolex. Is that Wiley? Too much chaps don't know where my phone is. There's my number. She already knows it. This chapter's a lot better knows it. Just a look at I was so evil. Wiley's a party boy and you know this. Yeah, Wiley. Wiley was really popular, weren't he, on the urban scene? And then he spoke out and now he's been cancelled, man. Can Yard pull it off? I would respect Yard because he has, I don't like Tunde, but Yard has a punch. Yeah, he looks juiced. But he goes for it. You know, he doesn't shy away from a fight against tough fighters, Kovalev, Beterbiev. He loses usually at the top. So I thought he has a chance, but I don't expect to win. Proud Patricia, most kids are prats. If you volunteer amateur clubs, they're so arrogant. There's definitely been a change of attitude with youngsters, and it's probably related to a number of things. You know, lack of parental guidance, you know, lack of discipline, lack of you know, I don't think kids should be beaten and all that, and I think kids should be treated well. But you know, and TikTok and all this kind of stuff. Whenever I wander around, the youths are so loud these days, man. They get on my tits. But there was some nice ones, man. Azim v Scooby-Doo. Yeah, Scooby-Doo's a puncher. Kurt Scooby-Doo. Unfortunately, kids aren't disciplined. Who's going to want to train those little chits? Yeah, I mean, exactly what I just said, man. Acoustics is in the house. Brother, yeah, it's great to see you, man. It's great to see you. What's everyone eating tonight, by the way? Remember, as Acoustic says, like, subscribe, hype, and donate. Donate. We only had 2 donations, which I'm very grateful for. My boy Tommy Gunn, my boy, without further ado, Retro. Follow his channel, by the way. Remember to follow, without further ado, Retro's channel. It's about games, retro games. Very interesting. Jet Set Willies, that kind of stuff. That's right. Sheer. Like you said earlier, many more boxing gyms are now full of trainers that don't understand boxing. Everyone's a boxing trainer now. You know, they watch a few YouTube videos and, you know, and they just copy what they see in the YouTube videos. What you got to do, if you're bringing up young amateurs, you teach them the basics first. You don't go, do this and then turn around. You don't try and get them to box like Lomachenko, you know, or Usyk, straight off the bat. You make sure they got a good jab, they keep their chin down, yeah. They judge the distance. The best thing I ever got told by a boxing trainer was about old school guy. And he's like, boxing ain't that complicated. I was like, what do you mean, man? I don't think boxing is that skillful a sport. It's more about toughness, right? It's not like tennis or football, but he said to me, all it is this. Huh? I didn't listen to him, but he said, 6 inches back, 6 inches forward. When you see the guy come towards you, like he's going to throw a punch, step back 6 inches, just a little bit. Don't jump back a yard. Step back 6 inches, and then go back 6 inches and hit him. And I thought that's the best piece of advice I've ever heard, man. I ate a chip roll. Bosh! Oh, you got like Big John Fisher II. I had vegetarian sausage rolls, chips and beans. Really? Well, they like vegetarian sausage rolls. I mean, what are they made with? I actually respect vegetarians because I love animals, but I do eat meat. I battle with it quite a lot. Thoughts on female trainers? Come on, man. Imagine having some whack ebony bitches in your corner trying to tell you how to fight. You'd be like, get out of here, man. Just go and get your dirty, stinking pum-pum out. Your windsock, Euro-tunneled, stinking, diseased pum-pum out and get out of here. What's worse, Chubby? Good people trying to act bad or bad people trying to act good? Heavy question. What's worse? I mean, obviously, you're only giving me 2 examples here, but good people trying to act bad are essentially have a good moral compass. They've just been, unfortunately, distorted and manipulated. Bad people trying to act good are usually pretending to act good so they can get something out of it. So the former, bro. The 6-inch rule. There you go, bro. Exactly. You avoid punch by small margins. Yeah, I never listen, but it's true. Just a little bit. What back? Bam. Back. Most amateur trainers are rubbish as well, you know, unfortunately. And they usually only spend time with the real prospects, you know. But learn the most important thing when you start in boxing is to learn the basics. Learn how to throw a proper jab. Learn to keep your chin down. Yeah. Learn to keep your hands up at the beginning. You can change it a bit round. You can develop your own style, but just learn the basics first. Learn how to throw a left hook. Right? Don't throw wild punches. You know, it's not that difficult, bro. My bird is what's Ebony? Come on, man. You just drop them, man. Huh? Bad acting good is worse. I agree, because they're fake, because it's a lie. I've yet to meet a mortal with morals. Acoustics. I learned to keep myself sleeping KO'd. Not quite sure what you mean, bro, but you know. I hope you're looking after yourself. How's your car, by the way? A lot of amateur coaches are wankers. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say they're wankers, because a lot of them give up their time for free. You know, yeah, they get a bit of reflected glory. Oh yeah, I'm a boxing coach. A lot of amateur boxing coaches, right? They got the keys to the gym, and what they do is they go to the pub and brag about their amateur boxing coach and take some drunken bit of pum pum bap and smash it on the ring. I'm serious, it happens all the time. But like, I don't agree with that necessarily. I don't agree with that. I just think a lot of them are incompetent. A lot of them are incompetent. Keep it real. All women are fake. I would not go that far, bro. Women's mentality is to feather her nest a bit, because evolutionary wise, and in a lot of species, a woman relies on a male to impregnate them and then look after them, right? So there's always a case where a woman looks for a man who's got money, or who is respected, who has some kind of power, yeah, to look after them. So I don't think that means they're fake. I mean, I just think they're looking after themselves and their kids. But a lot of women are fake, unfortunately. Michael laughing his ass off. Name something real about the average woman. Well, the problem is that the women these days have been manipulated to always want better, to hate men and to want better. Oh, I've got the ick. You see, I see it, even back in the day, right? You get women, they'd be like, oh, I'm going out with this guy, Peter. Let's call him Peter or Simon. And he's really sweet. He looks after me. He's a gentleman. He pays me all the time. But, I don't know. I don't really fancy him because he's too nice. And I'll go out with some idiot bad boy who'll slap him out, and then they'll complain, you treat me like shit, you know. But that's not all women. I've been out with a lot of nice women. So a lot of nice women who have very decent characters. So I'm not. I just think there's a manipulation going on in mainstream media and online to create more division between men and women. It's just another manipulation, and that's why we have so many broken families. Women have changed. They're easily led. They've always been easily led, especially emotionally, right? But in the old days, because people used to live in smaller communities with solid family values, you know, a woman would be more happy just to get a nice man who's decent, who's going to look after them, and brings home a bit of bread and butter. I was looking at the Christie biopic film. Oh, Christy Martin, yeah. And I heard Sydney Sweeney wants to do a real boxing match. But I take that news with a pinch of salt. So do I. It's just a PR story. And I don't care. She's probably some hoe who's been smashed by half of Hollywood. Fake for what reason, though? The glue, the lashes, the paint, the makeup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it really disgusting when you see a pretty young girl wearing too much makeup and these huge lashes, and they think they're the baddest in the business, and they think that, you know, they're the best thing. Well, they'll wait for 10 years and they'll be like ebony bitches. They'll have a pum-pum like a windsock. And by that time, the younger generation of females would have taken over and come in, and nobody looking at them no more. And they got to go for a batty man like Kell Brook. At least Kell Brook has money. Or how much money will he have left after his divorce? Also, so Kell Brook is fighting, what's his name, Aid Aldar, the guy that Ricky Hatton was going to fight, apparently as a tribute, which is fine. But is Kell Brook taking a purse, or is he giving the money to charity? You can't pretend to be a nice guy. Oh, I'm doing it out of respect and honor, and then, you know, take a payday. You know, those fake philanthropists. It's like chucking a sausage up Princess Street. I don't know what Princess Street is, but chucking a sausage up any street. Yeah, like throwing a sausage in the Grand Canyon. You know, getting a Richmond sausage and throwing it down the Eurotunnel. That must be what it must be like to be in bed with Emily bitches. Is Andrew Tate the new owner, or is this a scam? The owner of what? The BKFC, you mean? It's been rumored. Is it BKFC? Is it, what's been rumored, man? I think it's probably a scam anyway. I actually find him quite entertaining. He says some real stuff. He's clearly controlled. He's always throwing up the signs and that. So he's clearly controlled. But, you know, he's intelligent, you know. He says some funny things, but he's just controlled opposition. I bet Kel's keeping the money. I bet. Otherwise, if you weren't taking the money, you would announce it. I'm going to give my money to, I don't know what, the Ricky Hatton Foundation. But he hasn't said that, has he? Any news on the best Bitcoin to purchase? You mean the best cryptocurrency coin? At the moment, crypto's running quite high. I never bought a lot of. I got hacked. I lost a lot of money. But we'll find out what happens later. But I never invested. I invested in the solid coins. But I invested fairly early, so I made profit. And you get a lot of fake coins, you know, that are boosted up. Some celebrities will boost up. There was some hoe, wasn't it, on OnlyFans that was bragging on her coins, or some actress, and then it just pumped and dumped. So she made a load of money, and then they sold it all, and everyone lost out. I'm out there. HLB and everyone. Hey, what's up? I missed most of the live. Well, it's 1 hour 36. I'll probably do 2 hours. What are we now? 9:06. I'm gonna make some fajitas tonight, bro, and I can't wait. Everybody biatches put on any stitches. Oh, I don't think you can. I don't think that hole. I don't think that hole has got any hope. I don't think you can do anything with that hole. Like I said, it's like a windsock. Mossad, Chubby has more adverts than CNN. Really? So have adverts coming up? I don't know. I've set this on normal status. There shouldn't be loads of adverts. Are you really Mossad, by the way? Are you the one who stole my Bitcoin? How's the merch going down? Not well. Teespring terrible. They keep on pumping up their prices. They got bought by another company about 2 years ago. I think Railway bought a Tyson Fury Pepe t-shirt, but I haven't done any new ones recently because they don't really sell because Teespring's incompetent. It's way too pricey for what it is. And also, like, I've got, like, I don't know, $40 or sitting in the account, but it's not enough to cash out, you know? They love these tricks. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man. No, you need to earn $50 before you can cash out. So they hang on to all your money, which they invest in their own company. It's another scam. Quite a few female boxers do the OnlyFans. I wouldn't know because I don't look at it, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They're not going to make money through boxing because they're whack. No adverts, says Acoustic. I mean, I usually make about £3 of money on adverts off a live. So anybody, by the way, who feeling generous on a Wednesday evening can Bitcoin, Litecoin, buy me a beer, super check, super sticker, just in case you forgot. Railway, I didn't buy any merch. Oh, someone bought some merch. I'm sorry, it wasn't you. I'm sorry, man. So one of my other funds bought some merch, and they were laughing. You know, oh man, I wore it at work, which is pretty cool, man. Acoustics up to a whole 9 views. Well done, brother. Well done, brother. I'm gonna get another drink. I'm gonna get another drink. What fights do people want to see? Right? What fights do people want to see? Because we're not getting them. We are not getting the fights we deserve. I'm going to have a bit of white wine. I think I'm going to stop. Usually I stop drinking for 2 or 3 months, but life has been such a disappointment that there's not much else to do. You can get your drink on and chat to the funds. Oh, that's the other thing, right? So you can see, right, now, you know, my banner's gone, my logo's gone. I can't do intro videos because they were charging. StreamYard went from 22 quid a month, which is too much, what, for a couple of features, to 35 quid just to display my logo. But I'm only allowed 20 hours a month now on the free. So I'm just going to use the free one from now. So I won't go too... So I'll do up to 2 hours, then I'm out, because I've got to make sure I leave enough time. I've got 2 lives coming this weekend. The Conor Bum fight, and that'll be at least 3 hours. I got my boy Escape the System, which is going to be great on a Friday. Michael. Terry Harper's doing OnlyFans. I see her on X all the time, and she sits there hitting the bag with the tightest, most ridiculous pants you could imagine. Now, why bother, man? Are you doing a live for Saturday? Yes, most definitely. Fury beats any man live. Hugh Fury's fighting, isn't he? On the 29th against, I can't even remember, some bum. The Breeding Bull. Hey guys, stop with the ignorance. Okay, diversity is our strength. Okay, I'm gonna sit in the cock chair and watch the action. Read the moral question. Look how much cryptography there was in the pandemic. Yeah, correct. We were told, we weren't told hedge funds were buying all the treasuries while we offered crypto. Right, okay, yeah. I mean, basically, the main, I had, the main cryptocurrencies that I made money from until I was hacked by the IDF was, I'm serious, was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a little bit of XRP and a couple of other ones, but mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, fights. Want to see Ortiz vs Boots? Totally. Benavidez vs Bivol. Yeah, if he comes through yard, I want to see. What about heavyweight? Because they're the real kings. Though it should be. No need to apologize. I might get some merch one day in the near future. Yeah. I just need to make another $20 or something so I can actually cash out and get some money from it. These companies, these big companies, are so fraudulent. You enter a contract with them and they say, "Oh, you can't cash out without at least having $50," and they've already rinsed you on commission and stuff. And loads of little people won't make much money, including myself. Yeah, so they get made all this money. It sits in their account. They hang on to it. No little man is gonna sue a big company, are they, for $50? It's another way they make a lot of money, and it sits in their account for ages. Fur Q. Am I missing something? How come none of the major boxing organization pushed any fights? It's scary. It's dead as a sport. Well, when the Saudi money came in, right? When the Saudi money came in, everyone was jumping up and down and making real good fights, but it seems to have dried up, that money. Not sure why, but we're not getting the big fights anymore suddenly. And if we are getting half decent fights, they charge us $24.99. Prime Patrician, I think they should pay Pitbull Cruz to come here and fight Adam Azim for his first world title. Well, Azim has to get through Kurt Scooby-Doo. Now Scooby-Doo is a puncher. He did get waxed by Dakota Linger in a big upset. But some people say, like Danny Garcia's father, that Pakistani fighters can't take a punch. So it's still a dangerous fight, actually. I'm quite looking forward to it. So he's got to get through that, man. I want to see trainers fight each other. Well, they talk about it and they never do they? We need Otto to fight again soon. Did you see my video on Otto fighting this fat, brown-toothed hillbilly who rolled over without taking a punch? It's embarrassing, man. I still want to see Otto Wallin versus Huey Fury, the super fight of the century. Yeah, what's your top 5 fights you'd like to see next year, Chubby? And everyone too. Yeah, great question. And yeah, that's kind of what I asked. I want to see Usyk retire, really, because I don't want him to ruin his legacy. He's proved himself, but because of the PR value of him fighting, he will carry on fighting. I'd like to see Wardley vs Talma. What better fight is there at heavyweight than Moses Talma vs Fabio Wardley? 2 punchers, and there's a good storyline. They're both British, well, sort of. Like, Moses Talma's actually Slovakian, Nigerian, but whatever. He's based in the UK, and I assume he's got a UK passport. But that would be a great fight. I'd like to see Daniel Dubon. Daniel Dubon Gage rematch wouldn't be bad now because Dubon's been ironed out by Usyk. That wouldn't be a bad fight. Ortiz vs Ennis, totally. That's a super fight. Sonny Edwards vs Ebony Bridges. Oh yeah, Caballero. This is Caballero. Boxing some big on the feet pull. Damian Kaniba, if I'm pronouncing that right. He's not very good. He's a bit stiff. But he's unbeaten and he's big. That's an okay fight. I'd like to see Caballero box any of the big names. As I said, I'd rather Usyk retire. So Caballero vs Gage, Caballero vs Dubon, yeah? Caballero vs Talma, Caballero vs Wardy. Any of those fights are super fights. Anthony Joshua vs Jake Paul is apparently close to happening in December. I thought it was January, but yeah, I'm not believing that until it's signed. It's Otto Wallin's birthday soon. Well, how old is he, man? Huh? Is that right, ST? What well, it's been. I looked earlier, and it was reported that they're close to signing it. But they're always saying they're close to signing it. They were close to signing Huey Fury vs Joshua, but all these are press releases to keep people's names, in the papers. Well, not the papers, on the internet now. How can Jake fight Gage? Huh? When Jake was shook from Tyson Fury. Well, Jake was beaten by bloody Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. It will be an agreement, and it'll probably be like 8 rounds. Gage will have signed an agreement that he won't knock out Paul. But I don't believe it'll happen. Glasgow Celtic support Palestine to you. I'm not a Glasgow Celtic fan. A lot of Irish Republicans support Palestine. It's quite a bizarre situation. Do I support Palestine? I certainly support its existence. Yeah. Welcome to Josh Kelly. Well, is he fighting Burkham Murtazaliev or whatever his name is, the guy that ironed out Tim Tszyu? And remember, I told you it was nuts. 4-1 on Murtazaliev. I said against Tszyu, I said jump on that, and I was right. Well, I'm to Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard is fighting David Benavidez. I think Josh Kelly, yeah, he got the title shot. First, do you think Otto Wallin will settle down with the Scandinavian Hole or be sat in his cuck chair for life? I think he'll be sat in his cuck chair, yeah, farming out his African-American woman to get smashed by Big John Fisher and watch the action. I love to watch the action. It's Swedish culture after all. Right, I'm going to finish soon. At 2 hours, I've got to finish. Men are in love, women are in business. Women are loved unconditionally, men are in love with the conditions. 20-25 gentlemen. That is an argument, but I definitely didn't used to subscribe to it. Now, possibly more, but that's because the media have manipulated female empowerment and stuff like that. I reckon Otto is just staying all during. Yeah, in the fight, it was quite funny. It was the fight against this bum, brown-toothed hillbilly, who was an ex-middleweight, who got stopped by a punch that didn't land. And there's a black woman going, "Come on, Otto, use your jab, use your jab." So I think he's obviously got a new black woman. I read the best explanation of the J question and the towel is never discuss society because the whole spiel and set of argumentation tactics that are useful to lawfare. Deep comment there. I can't comment too much because I've got to watch out, you know. The time of his Franklin is now 10 rounds on box rec. I thought it was 12 rounds. Well, originally it was 12 rounds. But that doesn't surprise me. If Tama manages to get a stoppage, it's a decent result. Because Franklin he's boring. He's not that great. He's a bit careful and patient, but he went the distance with Gage and Dillian White. Usyk's now saying he's going to fight a few more years, probably being pushed by the propaganda machine, 100%. And that's what I said about 20 minutes ago. So yeah, I agree. Do you think people give much credit to Katie Taylor for women's boxing? Jane Couch goes on the radar. I don't care. Jane Couch did her bit, but women's boxing is so whack. I don't care about it. It just, to me, it just muddies boxing and makes it look worse. I think Katie's got CTE. I listen to her. I don't watch her fights. She's whack. Oh, because now I'm getting beasted with others. I don't know why. I didn't set this live to have loads of adverts, but I think YT is just so greedy because like adverts on YouTube, YT take 90% of the revenue and only 10% goes to the Triple B. Even the Super Shacks, they take 30%. So they're just loving the money because they've got a monopoly. You can say, I mean, what are the alternatives? Rumble, Odyssey, they just don't compare. Allegedly, Time of his Franklin isn't pay-per-view. It hasn't been announced yet, but they haven't said it's not pay-per-view. Pound Patricia, why does everyone revert to use a jab? It seems like a buzzword. Yeah. Oh, that is what. Use your jab. Be first. That's the other one you hear. Be first. No, why would you be first? If you're a counterpuncher, why would you be first? You get the guy to make a mistake, and then pop, you hit him back. ST says, yeah, Michael, it'll probably happen in December. Really? That quickly? What? Jake Paul, Gage? That's not a lot of time. But it'll be fake. And it's Katie Taylor dating a man. Hopefully she has been captured by the Rainbow Right. I think she's a rug muncher, but she keeps it quiet because she's Catholic and Irish. What's the next video you're planning to do? I mean, there's so little happening in boxing. What's there to do? I might do some red pill videos, but I'm going to do at least 2 more lives this week, okay? Katie Taylor sounds like a young, nervous nerd guy from The Simpsons. I mean, I don't watch Simpsons, so I don't know. But, I mean, all this Katie Taylor's amazing is like average 15-year-old club amateur boxer would wax her, just like happens with football. Now, there are very few women pro boxers, whereas there's loads of female soccer or football players. And yet still, in football, the international women's team, Australia and USA, who are highly rated, got waxed by 15-year-old boys and under 15-year-old boys. Do they get waxed by like Wrexham over 50s? Okay, it's actually insane how high an opinion that some women have these days. Unfortunately, they're being manipulated. So part of me says it's not their fault. Listen, I've had loads of girlfriends, and most of them were real nice. They weren't full of themselves. Yeah, of course, they wanted to be treated well and looked after a bit, but they liked a bad boy, and Chip Boy was a good bad boy. But in the modern era, thanks to the manipulation, yeah, a lot of people say that, but you know, I still believe essentially that the women, there are a lot of likable women. They're just being emotionally manipulated. I know you're doing live on Saturday. Will the next one be before Saturday or after Saturday? I'm doing one on Friday with Joe Barnes, Escape the System. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on Amazon. Check him out on YouTube. He's a published author of over 5 books on how to take control of your life and how to escape the system. Hence, escape the system. So he's red-pilled. He knows his boxing. He's a very bright guy. So yeah, that'll be great. So that'll be Friday, 8:30 p.m. hopefully. Okay, so make sure you're there. He's got a nice lady, cafe latte. What are you drinking? Oh, this is just a white wine, which is a weak one. Drinking's not like terrible like yayo, but it's still a problem for people. Women boxers, like most women athletes, have daddy issues. Good point. The delayed traditional dating experience. If women aren't courted, they become monsters. A lot of women that are anti-men, and this is obviously not their fault, have been in dysfunctional relationships. Maybe their dad isn't there. Maybe they've been abused. Maybe, you know, this kind of thing happens a lot. You know, so I will defend. I don't like women abuse, the abuse of women. I don't like women to be mistreated. I don't like them to be abused. If they're gonna act like hoes and entitled and pieces of shit, well, just don't talk to them. Just sack them off, man. That's right. Third Q. Is it wrong that people are curious to see that John Fisher's dookies look like? Well, dookies? What do you mean, dookies? His Corey with his testicles? He did a video embarrassing his wife. He's an embarrassment. And like I said, I quite like his family unit, you know, the way they stick together. I think he got bailed out by his son, business-wise. But pushing gluttony and then pretending to be a victim is not an acceptable approach. Yeah, embarrassing your wife is not acceptable. Boasting about being at Claridge's all the time whilst pretending to be a man of the people is not acceptable. You know, and also, like, you know, that fat, pink Richmond sausage, swollen ankled hog ain't gonna last long. Yeah. What is he, 49? He looks about 65. He weighs about 40 stone. This is not good. I worry about my own health, and I ain't 40 stone. Why do you not like John Fisher? I think he's a good guy, harmless and a good heart. No. If you mean John Fisher, the boxer, yes, I do think he's a good guy. And I do think he's a good heart. If you mean Big John Fisher, well, because he's a glutton, he's self-indulgent, yeah, he's self-satisfied, he's boastful, he pushes gluttony, and then he tries to play the victim. That's why. That's why, ST. Crap in, crap out, the saying goes, when society normalizes ugliness, right, men run for the hills. Then the brainwashed women wage war because men don't want to date them. And, you know, there's a lot of younger males that just are not getting together with women now because there's too much hassle. Unfortunately, they're also jacking off to, like, prawn, you know, which is unhealthy. But it's another way to divide people, to reduce reproduction, population. Okay, we've got a couple of minutes, so let's do this, man. Is boxing mostly rigged to the max? Difficult question to answer. I think a lot of matches don't have to be rigged full up because they just buy the refs, the judges, and they give all the disadvantages to the away fighter. But yeah, I'm sure there is some rigging. Michael Malone, scratch on the surface, Big John is a nasty prick. Yeah, I totally agree with that. He's boastful, he's arrogant, he has a lack of self-awareness. 40 stone. Yeah, have you seen how big he is? John's a loser. Thank you, Acoustics. I'm not dead yet. Are we finishing soon? So last few questions. Is Big John Fisher still that posh hotel eating 2 plates of breakfast the size of an old Sky TV did? Yeah, at Claridge's, bragging on it. And then he cries and then embarrassing his wife while she's getting changed in her underwear. I did a video on it. Go and check it out. It's called Big John in Claridge's. Big John Fisher in Claridge's. And then he starts crying on Twitter. He's blocked me, by the way. So he's obviously seen my videos. And then he whines about being a victim. Oh, I got rejected from Australia. Poor me. Oh, I'm getting bullied for being a greedy, fat, disgusting pig, gluttonous, gammon, hog pig. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, Tinto. I have to stay a bit later. Big up to everybody. Sweet pum pum. Do you mean sweet or sweaty, brother? But thank you, Tinto Brass Balls, for the fiver, man. Thank you very much. I much appreciate it, man. ST disagrees. ST, what you like, John? What do you like about him, man? What do you like about him? I mean, so I can see how some people think, well, he's a working class man, come good, but and that's okay. He's got a solid family unit. He's still with the same wife he married when he was 17. So these are the good things. But his ego's out of control. His ego is writing checks. His fat, disgusting pink body can't cash, as they say on Top Gun. There's Jeffrey Epstein on the fiddle. There are plenty of rumors he's still alive, and he's living in a certain Middle Eastern country. There was someone flew a what's it called? A drone on his island the way after he allegedly was gone, and there was a guy standing next to a van who looked identical to Epstein. So, look, they lied about weapons of mass destruction. They lied about World War I. They lied about World War II. They lied about, what's his name? Jimmy Savile. They lied about fat, making you fat when it was sugar. They lie all the time. So why would they lie about all these other things, especially when there's billions of dollars at stake? He's a working-class man, has a good family. I said that. I agree with you. It seems like he cares about community. I don't know about that. And it's for helping keep communities together instead of dividing people. He's been used as a pawn to push the multiculturalism aspect, Remember the beef Gad and Big John had last year? Oh, yeah, Big John was like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, Gareth. Gareth the Arsehole Davis is a bell end. And I loved it when Jay Orpataya looked at him. If looks could kill, or just disdain and utter contempt for that piece of shit. But yeah, Big John said he wasn't going to allow Gareth Davis in the house again just because Gareth Davis decided and thought that John Fisher, his son, had lost to Dave Allen, which most people did. So that shows you what character he's got. He's banned a journalist from his house and got on his high horse just because this guy, who's a piece of shit anyway, thought that his son lost. And most people did. Most people did. Right, we're finishing soon. Acoustic gymnastics. Are footballers, especially in the Illuminati, the top ones? Yes. You remember there was that Cristiano Ronaldo thing of him going like that? And everyone's going, oh, he did, I don't know, he did like an Armani or Versace underwear. And everyone's going, oh, that's so stupid. Well, why was he doing that? Well, we know why. It's a sign. Tommy Gunn, Jeff Epstein was said to have an egg-shaped Hampton wick. Yeah, I remember that. In the evidence, they were saying he had, how do you have an egg-shaped Corey? I don't know, man. I don't really want to know. But I remember that. God is a Prince Andrew of boxing. I can't. I'd hate to see what kind of prawn he looks at. He thinks he's a real styler too. Are YouTubers in the Illuminati? The big ones are, sure. not the small p, bro. Banned for having an opinion. That's it. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. All right, we're finishing up. Last few questions. I think I would lose. I would never go to full. Sorry, excuse me. Let me start again. I sometimes think I would lose. I would never go into the huff, have some morals, be a man. I would never sell out. I could easily sell out. I mean, approached to sell out, although it's been hinted. People have approached me and warned me. Yeah, I could have a vanilla, boring boxing channel that wouldn't be shadow banned and be making, 10, 20, 30 grand a year. But that's not going to happen because I have got morals. What actually happens, you answer the phone and say, yes, my soul. They go to, what you mean, people that get bought? No, they go to parties, people get in touch with them. They never make it explicit. They said, hey, we really like the channel. How about you push this? Look, we'll give you access to this guy, but try and stay away from these topics. And that's how it works. That's how it starts. And then it gets deeper. And then they have to do rituals. And then they're bought and it's too late. What do you think the whole Epstein Island thing was? It's a blackmail thing. Thanks for the stream again, Railway Trouble. Yeah, thank you, everybody. God bless you all. Thanks, as usual, to my boy Tommy Gunn, 1979. Great to see you again, brother. I hope you're well. My boy, without further ado, Retro, £5. Remember to follow his channel on YouTube. He does great reviews about retro games, Jet Set Willie, the old school. And my boy Tinto Brass Balls in the house. Thank you. Big up Ebony. I think it's a typo here. Big up Ebony Sweet Pum Pum. I think you mean sweaty, smelly, disgusting, windsock Pum Pum. But hey, it's great to see you, brother. Thank you for the $5. Peace out, brother. Yeah. Read the Illuminati. Right. The best way to answer that question is that all the competing Masonic fraternities settled their disputes after the US Civil War World War I to capture all international trade. 80% of all auditors are top criminals. That's another one. It's controlled opposition failures. Even though we disagree with something, it's a fantastic stream. I hope you do more streams, man. Thank you, SEO. And it's completely fine if you think Big John's decent. As I said, he has a good side. He has a good side. Unfortunately, I believe the bad side has taken over. That's what I'm saying, bro. But yeah, of course we can disagree on things. we're still pals. Anyone with a brain is not going to fall out at someone just because they disagree on a subject. Okay. Bye, everyone. Yeah, great. What are your thoughts on brasses, oldest profession in the world? Yeah, I'm not even sure it is the oldest profession in the world, but what I think about brasses, well, I'm a Christian, right? So I'm kind of like, it's not really something that I back and agree with. Bye, mate. Thank you. Yeah, cheers, brother. Any value fights this weekend? The best value bet I can look at is Conor Benn on points at 4-1. That's the only thing I can see. Is Azim fighting this weekend or not? Or is it later? Azim v Scooby-Doo might be interesting. Peace out, mate. Thank you, Breeding Bull. God bless you all, right? Remember, peace in the Middle East. Stay true. Be moral. Don't believe the hype. And handle the truth. Truth is the most important thing there is. Okay? Truth is the most valuable thing there is. Peace up, Christ is King. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. Christ is King. And Christ is coming back, man. All the predictions are coming true. Let's finish with this gem. Yeah, let's do that, Lee. Anytime there's been a civil war, it's because there was an unresolved dispute between oligarchs. Yeah. Most civil wars are fake. Look at the French Revolution. Oh, it's for the people. Whoa, hang on a minute. Is this the same guy who used to hide his hand like that all the time? What about the Russian Revolution? That was for the people? Or was it the Bolsheviks who took power and killed people and starved people? Yeah, thank you very much. Most revolutions are fake. Peace in the Middle East, guys. And God bless you all. Christ is King.